It is through suffering that we truly actually find ourselves. Oftentimes in pain, it is feedback for us to maneuver into a new path, or it's feedback for us to get out of something and to do something different. It's when we are in suffering that we truly find out what matters. We are in a new era, my friends. Today on the show, we are going to be breaking it down. This is exciting times, but it can feel as if we're in a little bit of the unknown. And that can be, if we choose to let it be, an exciting time. Let's dive right into the show.
Welcome to the Danette May Show, where you'll receive profound breakthroughs, courage to break old patterns, and live into your soul's purpose. Each week, I will bring you epic guests and live coaching to remind you of your power. You have the ability to achieve extraordinary things, and the time to start is now.
I'm outside with all of you walking in nature. This is my favorite place to do podcasts now, where I can just share my deep inner thoughts, wisdom, input, information that's coming through to me while I walk in nature. It's a win-win for everyone. And I'm bringing you in here with me amongst these trees. We don't pass a soul. I get to be with the animals, be with the sun, be with the trees and the rocks and the plants, and Ollie girl. So thanks for joining me. Hope you're out walking as well. Or perhaps maybe you're driving, or maybe you're working out. Whatever you're doing, I hope that you're just enjoying and soaking in what this life has to offer. You see, this life is a hologram. It is an extension of what's going on inside of you. This is why so many of us are seeing the world differently. Why two people that can be raised in the exact same family can recollect and have a whole different version of what their parents were like, the experiences they had, even though they might have been at the same Christmas dinner, or they might have been at that same birthday party and they had a fully different experience. It's because we are seeing the reflection of the world around us based off our internal reflection. It's just like if we were looking in a mirror. When you look in a mirror, and if that reflection is frowning, you don't reach into the mirror and try to make it smile. You have to smile inwardly, and the reflection will change outwardly. I am in awe right now. So this is the end of an era. And I have been really researching, first off, I've been feeling into my own intuition. I don't turn on the news. I don't turn on social media or listen to anyone else's thoughts until I've listened to myself. So I'm hiking, and a lot of you write into me when I'm out hiking, when I share it on stories, and they're like, "Are you not scared of animals?" I'll be really honest. I'm more scared of humans in a city, alone at night, walking as a female, or walking into like a silent garage and not knowing if some humanoid is going to hurt me. Truly, I live more in fear that way than I do with any animals. Like, I trust animals infinitely more than I trust humans. Not sure where that came from, but it's my truth. And I'm also very respectful because I am on the land, their land. And I recognize that they feel my energy. I feel their energy. But like, I was just hiking and it's a whole herd of elk. And what I do know is that they're in rut season right now. Like, the male elk are trying to win over the females. And if they see me as a threat, they may charge me. And so I respect this time of season because they are horny and I do not want to get between them and their horniness. So I turn around. Other times I've passed elk many times. I just saw a coyote looking at me through our back window. He was like the size of a wolf. He's been eating well. So I'm a little bit more like aware. And so I'm not letting Ollie out. I'm communicating telepathically with her that is not your friend because they're very sly and cunning. And of course, we have bears here, but bears really don't want to mess with you. They are afraid of you. And so it's like making noise, letting them know you're coming. I do that. And the mountain lions here are as well. They're not really out to attack you unless they're injured because they want to eat deer. They want to be in their natural habitat. So making noise, they're more aware of me than I would ever be aware of them. They're stalking everyone. They're very sly as well. And I'm not a threat. I'm not a threat to them. So, sometimes I'll carry a taser, but that's more for the male figures on the trail than the animals. But that's just my truth. Like, I feel really comfortable with the animals. I am more afraid, honestly, of the humans that might be out here and me alone with that human if they're not in the right mind. So I don't know where that comes from. Tell me, do you feel the same? I'm just curious. Like, are you more afraid of animals or humans? I'm genuinely curious. I don't know if this is the female thing with the male counterpart. This must be historically in my DNA, not sure. But anyway, okay, back to end of an era. So I tune into my own intuition. It's been more and more tuned in, and I've been testing my intuition versus just fear or other thoughts that are really not my intuition. And I've gotten better and better at it. And I think I know, nature actually is a really great way to really amplify your intuition. When you turn off the noise of social media or electronics and you just get into nature, your intuition goes up naturally. Like if you were to remove yourself and get out of any cell service, Wi-Fi service, and just sit there for a week, your intuition would be most likely magnified by 50%. I believe a lot of this IG 5G and the technological and just massive amounts of information coming in is more to our detriment sometimes than it is helping. That's a whole nother discussion. And that's part of heading into this new era. So I just wanted to say that I do that. But then there are few astrologers, because I believe in the power of astrology, but they're like chiropractors. They're not all created equal. Some of them claim to be astrologers, and they actually don't really have that deep fundamental skill. The ones that do, I believe they were highly revered back in the day, because reading the stars and understanding patterns, because there are patterns, can give you a leg up on where you go, how do you handle things, what do you do, things like that. And so I do tune in, and there's one that I really respect who's been doing this and making her main craft, like a really skilled chiropractor or doctor or surgeon, that is talking about this new era. Like we're entering a new era, meaning we're into a new cycle. Like there's been a close of 1,000-year cycle. And during that 1,000-year cycle, which we were all born into, we were born into certain paradigms. We were born into certain belief systems. We were born into the Revolutionary War, the Civil War, the way women were revered, the way women operated, the way men operated, the way we did business, all of that. But now that is closing, and we're entering a new era, a new way of being, which is new for all of us. And I think we can all feel it in interesting ways. And this is what I'm trying to share with all of you, is that you get to decide what meaning you bring to the feelings you're feeling internally, the things you're witnessing externally. So if you're seeing a lot of chaos, you're hanging around a lot of people talking about a lot of chaos, you get to decide if that's going to be your reality, or do you want to shift it? I'm going to share today what I'm doing, because Spirit's been telling me to get very radical right now, and how important it is for me to ensure that the things I am seeing externally match up with where I want to go internally. So I'll explain that in just a minute, but I just want to kind of caveat that, there's going to be some patterns that come up in the next few months that were similar to patterns that happened in our history in the past, which is going to create a little bit of disruption, or what we might want to call as suffering, whether it's natural disasters, business disasters, governmental disasters. We might label them that. But why don't we take on this idea, or I'm going to challenge all of us to take on this idea that it is through suffering that we truly actually find ourselves. Oftentimes in pain, it is feedback for us to maneuver into a new path, or it's feedback for us to get out of something and to do something different. And it's when we are in suffering that we truly find out what matters. Because a lot of us have put a lot of emphasis on the external world, from these amazing handbags to shoes to the car we drive to who we think we know that's influential to building these businesses at the expense of our own health and our own connection to source. I mean, the list can go on and on. This is a time, and when we have suffering, for us to go, what really matters? It's where we go, what matters to me? What are my values? And usually when you're in calamity or chaos or upheaval, those handbags, those shoes, that person that you think is famous that's important for you to get your picture with, it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Or that boss that was irritating you, or that friend, or whatever the thing is. You just get really laser clear. And anyone who's been a mom can kind of relate to this. You're pre-child, you're doing all the things, going to all the places, thinking that all these things matter. And then you have a child and you're like, oh, that actually does not matter. And I'm going to get laser focused on what actually does matter because I have limited time and because I actually have this human that is relying on me. And you just change your focus. And I feel like we're in that phase right now in life, generally as a collective and as individuals. And we can start to go, oh, why do I feel like there's so much externally happening that feels like suffering? It could be for our benefit. Let's just take on that for a moment, that it could be for our benefit, for us to actually break down to rebuild up. I know that during my hardest times, even though they sucked when I was in them, and I hated it, and I questioned why me at times, that it was those times that created the Danette today. And I'm so grateful for them now after the fact. So let's maybe get wise and say, this could all be for our benefit. And how can I ground myself? How can I really look at my value system and really have practices that really show me the reflection that I want to feel internally? So, for example, and I've shared this on the podcast before, I get sad about wars, but it was showing me, Danette, you want to focus on external wars, but focus on the internal wars you have within yourself, all the limiting belief systems, all the things, negative things you say to your body or to your cells or, about yourself. Like, work on your internal love, your internal harmony, because it's just its own universe inside of you. Focus on that. And that's made a big difference. And I believe if we all did that, the whole external world would shift, right? So that's one thing. The second thing I did, and I hope no one's offended, in case for some reason I was following you. I wasn't trying to hurt anyone. I got this really clear message, and this might be something for you too. It was telling me how if everything externally I'm looking at is a reflection of my internal world, which I have to say, from the world standpoint, I'm looking at nature a lot. I'm looking at this loving dog. I've got these really fun, beautiful, laughing, light children. I've got a loving husband, which, by the way, I need to share a podcast about the date he planned, where he planned everything. And I think I should bring him on. Let me know if you want that. I would say that, wow, my external world is quite beautiful. But then it was showing me that we as humans created another film to reflect our internal world, which is called media. And we created it on full tilt, from TV to social media on our phones. None of us leave our phones. I mean, I admire the people that don't have a social media account and don't tune in. Like, I'm in awe at them. We tune into YouTube. We tune into what our friends are doing on social, or so-and-so's doing on social. And a lot of times it directs our thoughts, our internal feelings, even if they're subtle, even if we're not realizing it. It's programming us to the TV shows we're watching, to the commercials that come on TV. And it was telling me, you have a choice, because it's time to be radical. You're entering a new era. You can either stay how you've been, or you can use this energy to amplify, because I have very, very specific dreams inside of me, and I haven't fully fulfilled on them yet. And they're going to require a new version of me. I'm talking an artistic version of me, an expression on stage version of me, a sound frequency version of me, a healer version of me, an understanding of sacred geometry version of me. It's going to require new versions. So it was telling me what you're seeing on these devices, on these technology, which is only getting amped up, you guys. Technology is only getting amped up, which is an external reflection of what's going on internally. Whatever you're tuning into is your internal storyline. So if you're not liking what you're seeing, you gotta change the channel. You gotta change the channel, or turn off the TV, or turn off the network. And it was like, Danette, you've decided to put your business on social. You've decided that this is a platform you would like to use to get your message out. That is fine. But when you turn on your social media account, you're going down the rabbit hole. I can feel the addictive effects of social media. I am not immune to them. And I have felt it numerous times. I put my phone away. I get pulled back in. It's this on and off again dance. And it was like, if you're going to choose to use this platform, then you need to get radical. And everything that you've been following for the past 10 years or however long I've been doing social and what platform I'm viewing, you need to get very clear on what you want to be seeing. So that means going through all the 1,000 people that you follow and deleting most of them. Not because they're bad, not because anyone has done anything wrong to you, but because you want to be seeing what you're creating. So follow artists, follow sacred geometry, follow the sciences that inspire you, impact you, indigenous leaders, things like that that are important to me. Whatever is important to you, let this message be for you as well. So I was like, oh, okay. And as I sat down to start unfollowing beautiful humans in my life, not because they did anything wrong, but because I need to get laser focused on what I am seeing. I just can't see my friend and maybe her ups and downs of her life because it's pulling me out from my mission. If my friend needs me, she'll text me. I don't need to be following her life on social. Does that make sense? Or some random person that I don't even know that doesn't really even inspire me, or even some of the drama because I kind of like the drama. Let it go because it's a distraction from where I'm going. So I sat down and started doing it. It was a tedious task. I'm still not done. I think I spent over an hour trying to unfollow. Just it's the clicking process. I was like, this is crazy. I didn't even know I was following all these people. Like over the years, it just kind of stacked up. I probably got curious, clicked the follow button, or my team did, because my team also runs my social. So sometimes they follow things that they're looking into. But anyway, so I did that, told my team not to add any more people, and I'm going to be very deliberate about what I want to see when I open my phone. And this is another radical step because I'm not playing in this new era. I'm excited for what's to come. And I recognize that my nervous system is one of my greatest assets. It's one of your greatest assets as well. So anything that dysregulates you, makes you question your worth, makes you wonder if you're included or enough, or is distracting from your mission because it's drama that you just like watching to avoid your own, right? Which, by the way, if you're watching other people's drama, it's because you have drama within yourself. People don't want to hear that. If you feel that all these other people are bad people or wrong or stupid or whatever you want to label them, it's your own internal reflection of yourself. So they choose consciously who you're going to follow, who you're going to see when you open your phone, and get really deliberate about it. And how does it make you feel? Like it should be inspiring, So, I mean, it shouldn't be. I mean, I don't care. I don't like using that word should because who am I to say you should watch something inspiring or not? It's an invitation, right? It's an invitation. It doesn't really actually matter what you do because you're also made up in my life. You're a made up reflection. All these people that I think are following me are all made up for me to fulfill on whatever I think I'm supposed to fulfill on, right? In my life and my purpose. The other thing I'm doing, obviously I talked about nature before, but nature time, a lot of nature time, a lot of touching trees, a lot of sitting, being with nature, hearing the messages from the animals, listening, being here, sunbathing. There's so much about sun right now. It's not the sun is bad. Sun has never been bad. It's all the seed oils and all the GMOs and all the toxicity in our foods that makes it so that we do not handle the sun's rays on our skin well. You get rid of all that junk, you can be out in the sun. I don't care how fair-skinned you are. Obviously, you have to be a little bit more careful because if you're fair-skinned, you most likely genetically were not in environments where the sun was beating down 24/7 throughout the whole year, right? And those who have the skin tone to handle that are typically from those environments. So it's like recognizing that we are equipped with everything in our bodies. That's also the new era invitation. We get into fear because of overload of information. We hear about this or this or this that might be going on in our bodies. We did biohack the heck out of ourselves, taking 1 million blood tests, taking 1 million scans, questioning the body and its natural abilities. Now, what we should focus on, in my opinion, is the food we're ingesting. Like, make it natural. If it's made from a man, avoid it. If it's made from nature, consume it. Listen to your body. Does it like it? Does it not like it? Some bodies do better with red meat. Some bodies do better with white meat. Some bodies do better with less meat. It's not that there's one way for everyone. Listen, but just choose the healing foods. Let go of processed foods. Most of it is full of chemicals. The chemicals in your coffee, look at where things are sprayed, where the government has put their hands on it, sugars, things like that, alcohol, all of that is pulling you away from this inherent gift within you of intuition and your body's natural ability to heal. Also, turn out this news about all the things that could go wrong with your body. Your body naturally wants to heal. It naturally wants to go back into homeostasis. You just have to give it the environment for it, from food to sunlight to movement to positive thoughts. All of these things are free in a lot of ways. You can grow a lot of food inexpensively. We've been told that it's expensive to eat well. Well, if you're going to Erewhon, yes. If you're going to maybe even Whole Foods, yes. Start growing a little mini garden. You know what? And a lot of us could start eating less. I think that we've got in this mixed idea that we have to starve ourselves to lean down, change it up, maybe eating less because it gives your body a chance to heal. That's it. Not because you're trying to fit into a pair of jeans. And as we do this, I believe our light bodies, our internal bodies are going to be more illuminated, and the people, the experiences, the things we naturally want to gravitate towards will naturally gravitate towards us. So this is my offering. I'm excited about this new era that's here, but it can feel kind of like you're on this trapeze. Like if you ever watched a trapeze artist, when they're on one bar and they're swinging and then they have to let go and they're in the air before they can grab the next bar. That's the unknown gap. And right now as a collective, and a lot of us are feeling this unknown gap. It's like, okay, I'm going to jump, and I have to have faith that I'll grab the other bar. And this is our invitation. Have faith. Lean in and trust the process of life. Trust in that all of this stuff that feels uneasy and uncomfortable in our bellies or in our bodies is just because we've made the jump, or we're going to make the jump. Some of us haven't quite made it, but we're feeling the rumblings in our bellies. You can do it. And it's part of this process to go to the other side, to go and be in another way of being. Sending you all so much love. I hope this has been beneficial for you. Thank you so much for being a part of this show, and I'll be talking to you very soon.